in the media conference with Lal Goyal, which is brought to you by V4 News, Global TV, V4 Stream, Newsgaon Se, Samvad Sarokar News, Organ Donation India Foundation and Gyan. Our endeavor is to enlighten you with the current topic. And today is a very important day because the world is celebrating today World Red Cross Day. The World Red Cross Day is celebrated to commemorate the principles of the International Red Cross and Red Crescent movement. On World Red Cross Day, people pay tribute to the humanitarian agency for their great contribution for helping people in need. The theme of World Red Cross Day 2021 is Together We Are Unstoppable. On this World Red Cross and Red Crescent Day, we celebrate our long journey and reaffirm our commitment to our humanitarian mission, said the Red Cross press release. The first Red Cross Day was celebrated on May 8th, 1948. Red Cross Day is the birth anniversary of Henry Dunant, the founder of International Committee of the Red Cross, ICRC. Henry Dunant was also the recipient of the first Nobel Peace Prize. It is an annual celebration of their principles. The day is celebrated by the Red Cross Society across all the countries. It works for the welfare of the people. World Red Cross Society provides for food shortages, natural disasters, wars, as well as diseases of an epidemic. The official title of the day changed over time and became World Red Cross and Red Crescent Day in 1984. The International Red Cross and Red Crescent movement is an international humanitarian movement with approximately 97 million volunteers, members, and staff worldwide, which was founded to protect human life and health, to ensure respect for all human beings, and to prevent and alleviate human suffering. The International Committee of the Red Cross, ICRC, is a private humanitarian institution founded in 1863 in Geneva, Switzerland, in particular by Henry Dunant and Gustave Moynier. Its 25-member committee has a unique authority under international humanitarian law to protect the life and dignity of the victims of international and internal armed conflicts. The ICRC was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize on 3 occasions, in 1917, 1944, and 1963. The Red Cross idea was born in 1859 when Henry Dunant, a young Swiss man, came upon the scene of a bloody battle in Solferino, Italy, between the armies of Imperial Austria and the Franco-Sardinian alliance. Some 40,000 men lay dead or dying on the battlefield, and the wounded were lacking medical attention. Dunant organized local people to bind the soldiers' wounds and to feed and comfort them. On his return, he called for the creation of national relief societies to assist those wounded in war and pointed the way to the future Geneva Conventions. The Red Cross was born in 1863 when 5 Geneva men, including Dunant, set up the International Committee for Relief to the Wounded, later to become the International Committee of the Red Cross. Its emblem was a red cross on a white background, the inverse of the Swiss flag. The following year, 12 governments adopted the first Geneva Convention, a milestone in the history of humanity, offering care for the wounded and defining medical services as neutral on the battlefield. During the First World War, relief services for affected soldiers in India was provided by a branch of the Joint War Committee, a collaboration between the St. John Ambulance Association and the British Red Cross. On 3rd March 1920, a bill was introduced to the Indian Legislative Council by Sir Claude Hill, a member of the Viceroy's Executive Council, who was also chairman of the Joint War Committee in India, to constitute the Indian Red Cross Society independent of the British Red Cross. The bill was passed on the Indian Red Cross Society Act 1920 on 17th March 1920 and became Parliament Act 15 of 1920 with the assent of the Governor General on the 20th March 1920. On 7th June 1920, 50 members were formally nominated to constitute the Indian Red Cross Society from members of the Indian branch of the Joint War Committee. The first managing body was elected from among them, with Sir William Malcolm Haley as chairman. The Indian Red Cross Society, IRCS, has 35 state and union territories branches with their more than 700 districts and sub-districts branches. The President of India is the President of the IRCS. The Minister of Health and Family Welfare is the chairman of the society. Indian Red Cross has scaled up preparedness to tackle the coronavirus pandemic by initiating lots of activities. In the initial phase of the outbreak, volunteers were trained, awareness and prevention programs were conducted to sensitize people and vulnerable communities. Health Ministry has requested all state governments to use the services of Red Cross volunteers for community surveillance. Coordinating the import of essential items containing personal protective equipments, PPEs, test kits, ventilators, thermal guns, and masks from Jack Ma and Alibaba Foundation from China on behalf of and to be given to Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. Red Cross vehicles have been made available to the local administration. 2 ambulances in each district of Haryana have been given. Around 1,800 vehicles of mother and child care operated by Tamil Nadu Red Cross on behalf of state government are being used for transportation of patients. For last 15-20 days, Indian Red Cross is spearheading the foreign aids in form of oxygen plants, ventilators, etc., and channelizing their distribution to hospitals. So we are celebrating World Red Cross Day, and we know how this Red Cross is playing a very, very important role during this pandemic, and especially now, because whatsoever aids are coming from foreign countries, they are coming through the Indian Red Cross, and Indian Red Cross has to take the inventory and then hand it over as per the direction of Ministry of Family Welfare, Health and Family Welfare to the hospitals or wherever the ministry decide to give. And that's why the role of Indian Red Cross is very, very important. And all the countries believe on the Red Cross, and that's why all these aids are channelizing through Red Cross, Indian Red Cross in India. Now, today, to discuss this very important topic and to celebrate World Red Cross Day, we have a very, very well-informed expert in their fields, rather I will say authority in their fields, as well as knowledgeable, experienced panelist with us. And I would like to invite my first panel guest, and he is Professor Dr. P. Subramania. Professor Dr. P. Subramania is the Vice Chancellor of Mangalore University. He is having more than 3 decades of experience in teaching, research, and administration. He did his MCom from Mangalore University in 1982, securing first rank with gold medal. He obtained PhD degree from Mangalore University in 1992 in the area of consumer behavior. He worked as professor, trainer, and consultant. He published 46 research papers in national and international journals of repute. He did postdoctoral research at Nottingham Business School, Nottingham Trent University, England, on HRD policies and practices. He also did across National Study of India and Britain under the Commonwealth Fellowship Scheme during 2001-2. He received an international award entitled eLearn International Award 2003 from Scotland, UK for his best research paper on trends and status of corporate e-learning and Indian experience. He also received the prestigious Devang Mehta National Award for Best Teacher in Human Resource Management in November 2009. He is down to earth, ready to listen, and eager to implement. Welcome, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Dr. P. Subramania on our show. Professor Dr. P. Subramania, as you are well aware that today the world is celebrating World Red Cross Day. And it is, I will say, indeed, we are grateful to the Red Cross because the service which they are providing, which they have provided in past, and now also it's a very, very important service which their volunteers are providing day and night by serving the humanity, and especially in this pandemic time. So now we would like to know your views on World Red Cross Day. Honorable Vice Chancellor Professor Dr. P. Subramania, please.
Good morning, and thank you, Mr. Lal Goyal ji, esteemed fellow panelists and the viewers. As you have rightly said, today we are celebrating the World Red Cross and Red Crescent Day. Every year we celebrate on 8th May. And as a matter of fact, this year we are celebrating World Red Cross Day with a difference. We remember Red Cross now more than ever before because of the unprecedented crisis created by COVID-19 pandemic. We must know how to live with this pandemic for a long period of time. And we must, because when you are not in a position to change the environment, we must know how to change our perception, thought process, feelings, action tendencies, and finally actions. That is the smartest way of surviving the COVID-19 pandemic. That being the case, this World Red Cross Day should be celebrated with a difference. So at the very outset, let me wish all of you happy World Red Cross and Red Crescent Day. We pay tribute to the millions of volunteers, members and staff who work every day to prevent and alleviate human suffering all over the world. Because here exactly we understand poverty anywhere will constitute a danger to prosperity everywhere. In a similar vein, now we are very much convinced of the fact that sickness anywhere will constitute a danger to wellness everywhere. That is the gift of the COVID-19 pandemic. We must learn how to handle this kind of crisis. In this event, particularly the World Red Cross is doing yeoman service. And our Mangalore University has got what we call Youth Red Cross. And our teachers, students, teaching and non-teaching staff have been sensitized with the role and relevance of Youth Red Cross, particularly in the context of COVID-19 pandemic and also the post-COVID or the COVID returns situation now. As a matter of fact, the Red Cross strongly believes in providing people with the shortage of food, and in the event of several natural calamities, how to get over the crisis. And during World War I, World War II, the Red Cross, World Red Cross played a very significant role, and its role was remembered by all of us even now. And in the event of an epidemic disease or particularly during pandemic, Youth Red Cross or any Red Cross will do a wonderful job because they are interested to give basic amenities for everybody who are badly in need of such amenities. Because the main dictum or the inspirational quote of World Red Cross Society is what you call inspire, encourage, and initiate all times and all forms of humanitarian activities to generate a peaceful environment. So world peace is very, very important. It cannot be measured and assessed in terms of monetary values because this World Red Cross is promoting humanitarian principles and values, and it is eliciting disaster response from all of us. And we have to promote disaster preparedness in the hearts and minds of not only the volunteers, the members and the staff, but everyone, particularly the youth, the young India. That's very, very important. And healthcare in the community, because in the community, what we expect is sharing, caring, and nurturing attitude, because attitude of people is very, very important. In most of the time, I have said mindset is the challenge and implementation is the key. Even the World Red Cross Society is also experiencing this kind of thing in all the member nations. The mindset is the challenge and the implementation is the key. So ultimately, the World Red Cross is strongly believing in certain values, particularly the 12 values. One is love, nothing like love. Second one is peace, not harmony, peace. The third one is compassion. We must know how to be universally compassionate. Then next one is empathy, living in the shoes of others. Then only we'll understand the sufferings from the other person's point of view. Then kindness, you should be kind-hearted. Then only you'll be a great-hearted person. Then helping attitude, helping people in times of their difficulties. Then cooperative mindset, cooperation, the spirit of cooperation, pulling or pushing the same direction, a kind of coordinated attempt. Then enlightened self-interest, not selfishness, but we are acquiring all this knowledge or resources only to help people in times of need or in times of distress. That is nothing but enlightened self-interest. Then to be an active member of World Red Cross, in any way you want, you should be good. So be good and do good. That should be our real spirit emerging from the bottom of our heart. Then we should inspire and engage ourselves and the relevant others. Then connect the disconnected, the poor people, the undertrodden, the less privileged, those people who are coming to terms with the crisis like COVID-19 pandemic. And ultimately, the value is together we can win. Together we are unstoppable. That is the main theme of this World Red Cross Day 2021 celebration. Therefore, the spirit of togetherness is very, very important. World Red Cross also talks about what you call a word of caution, as rightly pointed by Mr. Lal Goyal ji, protect your own lives and take care of the dignity of the victims. That's very, very important. It's not just taking the smart photo or the video of the person who is almost dying. Therefore, taking care of the dignity of the victims is very, very important, because ultimately, as I understand, World Red Cross movement is based on 7 principles. One is humanity, because mutual understanding, friendship, and cooperation. The second one is impartiality, because there is no discrimination whatsoever. Most urgent case of distress will be addressed based on the sense of priority and urgency. Then the neutrality in providing help, no controversies, no gender discrimination or religion or region. Then independence, it's a kind of autonomy or freedom to take decision. You should not be perturbed or disturbed by any faith or any political affiliation or something like that, because of that independence, sense of independence, very, very important. The fifth one is voluntary service, voluntary relief movement, no desire for gain. We are not engaging in Youth Red Cross or any activity for fame or game or something like that, no scheming and gaming. Therefore, that kind of impartial attitude, the voluntary service is very important. Sixth one is unity throughout its territory, because we have got a defined territory for operating the activities of World Red Cross in the member nations. Therefore, within the territory, we should have the unity. United we stand, divided we fall. And the seventh principle is nothing but the universality. Therefore, again, the 7 strategies could be collecting the blood now, first aid, emergency response, health and social care, preparing for disasters, refugee services, or helping people in finding missing families. Therefore, this Red Cross is doing human service, and we should sensitize ourselves and the relevant others to take part in this kind of voluntary relief activity and other things. Thank you, Mr. Lal Goyal ji.
Thank you very much, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Dr. P. Subramania, for giving such a vivid description of the World Red Cross. And especially, I would like to highlight one point which he has mentioned. He says that his university, that is the Mangalore University, is also having Youth Red Cross Society, where the students, the teaching faculty and others are doing lots of services under that banner. And this is something which requires everywhere. What Honorable Vice Chancellor says, that people should not do something which is going to harm. You have to give you should be very compassionate. You must see to the suffering of the others. Put your foot on the shoes of others, then you will know what is the situation. And that is why the Red Cross Society worldwide is doing human service from the day of its inception. And whether it's a world war or any committees, they are always ahead. And during this pandemic also, they are doing lots of services. So according to Honorable Vice Chancellor Professor Dr. P. Subramania, the Red Cross Society deserves kudos, and they are doing human service for the humanity. And we should also try to see to it that we must also follow all those things which are required today, so that we can contain this pandemic, although they are trying their best and their volunteers are working day and night. Thank you very much, Honorable Vice Chancellor Professor Dr. P. Subramania, for your very, very good opening remarks, views. Thank you very much. Now I would like to introduce my next guest, and he is Lieutenant General V.K. Chaturvedi, PVSM, AVSM, SM. Lieutenant General V.K. Chaturvedi is an alumni of National Defense Academy and Indian Military Academy. He was commissioned into the Regiment of Artillery on 13th June 1971. Immediately on commissioning and after undergoing a curtailed young officers course, he was posted to 99 Field Regiment in the Eastern Sector. He fought the 1971 Indo-Pak War and was awarded the Sena Medal for gallantry. He commanded 99 Field Regiment Shalit during Operation Rakshak in J&K, and on an artillery brigade in Strike Corps during Operation Parakram in deserts. He accomplished himself well on all important courses, to include long gunnery courses, Defense Services Staff College, Senior Command course, Higher Defense Management course, and the most prestigious National Defense College course. He has held all the coveted staff and command assignment, which include GSO2, General Staff Officers Grade 2 at Military Operations Directorate, Colonel Administration of a Division in the Deserts, Director at Weapons and Equipment Directorate in Army Headquarters, Brigadier Administration of the largest corps of the Army in J&K, Additional Director General Operation and Training of the Artillery, where he spearheaded the artillery modernization. He was thereafter the Deputy Commandant and Chief Instructor of the School of Artillery, and finally was Director General Manpower, Planning and Personnel Services at Army Headquarters. The officer was awarded the Param Vishisht Seva Medal, PVSM, in 2011 for distinguished services of the highest order by the President of India. He was also awarded the Ati Vishisht Seva Medal, AVSM, for distinguished services of exceptional order by the President of India in 2007, and the Sena Medal Gallantry during the 1971 war. He was also given commendation by the Chief of Army Staff and Army Commander on 2 occasions. He is Master of Philosophy MPhil from Madras University in Strategic Studies and International Affairs, Master of Science from Madras University in Defense Studies, and Master of Management Studies from Osmania University. The officer also holds a postgraduate diploma in Business Management from Pune University. Post-retirement, the General was advisor Defense Banking with the State Bank of India and SBI Life for 5 years. Presently, the General is consultant in defense matters and guest lectures at a premium institutes in the country. Welcome, General Chaturvedi, on our show. General Chaturvedi, you have heard the Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Dr. P. Subramania, and you have heard that anywhere, whether it's war or a situation like pandemic or the floods, the Red Cross is always ahead. And it's not only India, all over the world. You being the general in the army, you have fought the wars very closely, and you have seen the role of Indian Red Cross more than any one of us in the field. So definitely you have more experiences. You know far better than all of us, because we can only give what we have available on the Google or whatsoever in the books. But you have seen practically. We would like to know from you the views of you on the World Red Cross Day. Lieutenant General V.K. Chaturvedi, please.
Thank you, Mr. Lal Goyal, for the kind introduction. Professor Dr. Subramania, Honorable Father Ravi Kanchan Chira. I hope I have pronounced it correct, sir. Otherwise, pardon me. And Dr. Gyaneshwar Pai, you have a very elite panel today. And what I have liked, Mr. Goyal, that you discuss and highlight very relevant subjects, and your selection of the subject for discussion is extremely appropriate. Today is the foundation day, I'll say, and also the birth anniversary of the founder of International Committee of Red Cross, Dr. Durant, who was himself a Swiss man, and he therefore adopted a symbol from his country's national flag. It is a great organization, and I have right from 71 war, thereafter in J&K, in national calamities, in Uttarakhand, disaster management, all these things, the Red Cross Society has immense contribution to the mankind. And what is most glaring, I'll say, of this organization is that they do not advertise. They are the silent workers. They are on ground everywhere where the need is, and they do not believe. Let their work speak for themselves. Let the people who have benefited speak for themselves. And that's a true human value. We must appreciate this part of this great organization. The way they were able to, during war, I'm talking about a lot of prisoner of wars are taken, the way they negotiate with both the parties to have the exchange of these prisoner of war to go back to their own motherland. These are not normal things. It requires immense perseverance. It requires immense negotiating skills, and it needs tremendous amount of value for the human beings. When you understand how a man who has become a prisoner of war in another country, his mental state, the fear of unknown, he doesn't know what is going to happen tomorrow. He is mentally broken despite having undergone the great and very stressful training of the armed forces, where we are made mentally extremely strong. Despite that, when you are in such a situation, the mental state definitely undergoes tremendous beating, and therefore the role of Red Cross to ensure that these people are at peace, they are sent back to their own country at the earliest, they have done human service. Even the disabled, those who suffer injuries, those who are lying on the battlefield, normal tendency of the enemy country is that these people will be burden on us even if we capture them as POWs. Though the Geneva Convention says that we have to give them the best of treatment, treat them as our own citizen. But I'm talking about my experience. We do not have a neighbor which believes in human value. They have definitely, and that is the reason for their suffering. They have underrated the human aspects of the normal citizen. They consider that only they deserve to survive. The other human being who's without arm, he cannot do anything, and he is injured, they do not take care of it. So such cases, the Indian Red Cross Society and the World Red Cross Society, they come to the aid and they ensure dignity to such people. Even in death, everybody deserves dignity and grace. And this is what our Red Cross societies have done. They have been always been at the forefront. You can see them where the frontline soldiers are fighting. The Red Cross people will be there. They are volunteers, and Professor Subramanian has just said that is one of their principles, those 7 principles, that everybody here is a volunteer. Though, of course, some compensation to some of them, which is natural because they leave their homes and they go, that type of things is there, but they are not on salary. They are basically because of the jazba that they have for इंसानियत के लिए जो है उसके लिए वो वहां जाते हैं, and they serve them with total selflessness. They don't have anything, and they are doing it across the board, across caste, creed, color, religion, race, boundaries of the land boundaries of any nation. Such important aspect to be displayed are very, very rare. And these are across these almost 97 million volunteers the world over, and they may be plus is definitely what Lal Goyal had said, 97 around volunteers are there. I am sure there are many more because each one of them takes some more from the local areas and they also form part of the teams. So that is the inner feeling of these people, that they are able to generate this type of selfless service in the humanity. They started with charity in war, only for the wartime soldiers, the motto initially was. And today is service to the humanity and moving towards peace. That is what over time they have changed. Now they even go for famines. Wherever there is food shortage, they take part in natural disasters, even man-made disasters. They are there to serve. Even pandemics, diseases, they are there for vaccination. They are there to support them with oxygen, with medicines, and above all, with that emotional bonding, which a man who is sick needs a little. Anybody who says, no, tum theek ho jaoge, just build your willpower, I am there with you. That's a great thing. And these people are there. We must appreciate these aspects of this great organization. Over time, from 1919, the first time, but what Mr. Lal Goyal has said, it started much before 1863. That's absolutely correct. It's more than 150 years old organization, one can say. Though we started celebrating this day only from 1948, and 84, some sort of a Red Cross and Red Crescent. I feel this differentiation must be done away with. We should not, because the aim of this great society is across caste, creed, religion, and boundaries. So why have Red Crescent? Let it be the Red Cross across the board. It will add value. It will bring great honor to this great organization. And we must ensure that certain countries who have tried to create it as a Red Crescent, they are persuaded. And I have no doubt when you persuade them with reasoning, because it definitely affects the motto of this great organization, which is neutrality, universality, impartiality, everything. It's just human being is the center point. It's across just human being. Let it be across anywhere. Let it be in Africa. Let it be in Korea. Let it be in Vietnam, India, North America, wherever it is. But the central figure is the human being, and we need to see that this word becomes common. There can be a little more discussion on this. I am sure everybody, every human being ultimately understands what is right. And we must make an effort to see that it happens. I'll just give you one negative aspect also. The symbol of Red Cross, we were in Sylhet during 1971 war. It was around 14 December. The brigade headquarters of our then East Pakistan Army was shifted into a general hospital of Sylhet garrison. And we came to know, because these things cannot be hidden. We were told through our intelligence and agencies, we had to fire and carry out shelling on that general hospital. Despite all our ethos, we did not want to do it. But look at the ethics of this unprofessional armed forces. I have always maintained the downfall of Pakistan Army is only because of their soldiers who are most unprofessional. They do not follow any ethics. They do not have any value for the humans. And that is the reason we had to shell that. And within an hour, the white flags came and they started surrendering to us. This is a very negative aspect. We must ensure that the symbol's dignity is maintained. The Red Cross means Red Cross. Red is blood, and we care for the blood, and we respect that blood of human beings. All human beings, irrespective of caste, creed, color, religion, race, the blood is red. That we must understand that point. And in the end, just one more point. Sir, I hope I am not exceeding the time.
Okay, please go ahead.
I'll say this day, instead of celebration by the Red Cross, it should be celebrated by the countrymen, by the human beings across the world as a tribute day. We must give our tribute to this great organization who has done so much for the humanity across the world. And therefore, like Remembrance Day in UK for the armed forces they have, we must have it as a tribute day for the services of Red Cross. And second point, I've already said, we must persuade people to have only one name for this great organization. And third and the last, I was surprised today. I take one Hindi and one English newspaper at home. None of them care to write even one article on this organization whose contribution to the mankind and whose contribution to the world peace is invaluable, immeasurable. And therefore, there is a need for the media also to do a little bit of retrospection. Such organization, though of course today there are many more organizations who are also doing it, that is the reason, but this organization did it when there was none. In First World War, they were, and those times the battles used to be bloody and they were more cruel than what today the battles are. And they were doing yeoman service at that point of time. So they are the harbinger of this great thinking, the ideology, and therefore need to be definitely respected and definitely paid tributes. Thank you so much. It's been truly a pleasure to speak on such a subject And I am once again thank you, Mr. Lal Goyal, that you are one of those persons who do not miss out an opportunity to highlight the contribution of organizations which have done human service to humanity and to the world at large. Thank you so much. It's been my pleasure. Jai Hind.
Thank you very much, General, for giving such a nice description. So many hidden facts which even we were not knowing. We were knowing that they play an important role during the war. But the main thing is what the General has mentioned about the negotiation when the POWs or the prisoners of wars were there. And in 1971, when our General Chaturvedi, who was just commissioned, was put on the war, and he won the Sena Medal in that war. And he says at that time, because we got so many thousands and thousands of prisoners of wars of Pakistan soldiers, how they have negotiated. I still remember that at that time, there were lots of talks, why we are keeping them, why we are feeding them, we should have killed them. But this organization, according to General Chaturvedi, has that much patience and that skills, negotiating skills, and to see that dignity to be provided. That is a very, very important thing. Just imagine, many of the volunteers, I'm sure all the volunteers of Indian Red Cross might be from India. An Indian is caring for the prisoner of war which belongs to the other country. How much I must say that their intellectuals or their feelings, they have to kill their patriotism in one way to support, but according to them, the humanity values, what they are having in them, that they are being an Indian, they are trying to give the full dignity to a prisoner of war which belongs to Pakistan, the enemy country. But what General has made a very, very important point also is that the downfall of the Pakistan, one of the reasons, they have no morals. They are morally bankrupt. They shifted all their brigade headquarters to a hospital. Just imagine, a hospital is not a place for an army to take over, to hiding or to operate from there. The hospital is to serve. General Chaudhary has made a point and given so much good description. I'm sure all our viewers get so much new things, knowledge about the Indian Red Cross or the World Red Cross. And one more point which he has highlighted, yes, that is really a sad state of today's, that no media, I will not say I will say many of the media, the newsprints and others, they are not even talking about this service which Indian Red Cross or the World Red Cross is doing immensely. Why? Are we only to create the negativity in our country? Are we only talking something which divide our country? Or we should also give thanks to those who are serving day and night to serve us. After all, today, this pandemic, if Indian Red Cross is working, they are not working for any enemy. They are working from us to our civil society, our own countrymen. And we have no respect for them. We have no such moral values that we can even think about them and say thank you to them. Thank you very much, General Chaturvedi, for an eye-opener. I must say, your views. This will definitely go a long way. People should understand that those who are serving the country in a different way, they are not, and they are all volunteers. We must give at least a respect. If we cannot do that, at least we should say thank you to them. Thank you very much, General Chaturvedi, for giving your views. Now I am going and calling another very heavyweight panelist of us, and he is Reverend Father Robbie Kanchanchira, CMI. Reverend Father Robbie is NGO representative of United Nations. Father Robbie is the director, Chavra Cultural Center. Reverend Father Robbie is a postgraduate in English literature from MG University, Kottayam. He completed his MPhil and is currently pursuing his PhD in English literature. Reverend Father Robbie has always been involved with the needs of communities, taking a keen interest in issues faced by the young and young at heart. Reverend Father Robbie is very active in the socio-cultural sphere and cares for the needy remotely and on digital platforms. Reverend Father Robbie holds the position of Secretary General of World Fellowship of Inter-Religious Councils, WFIRC. Reverend Father Robbie has presented papers on inter-religious topics in the international conferences held at Oxford, Birmingham, Horsham, UK, London, Austria, Doha, Qatar, UAE, Germany, Rome, and Belgium. Reverend Father Robbie's life has always been devoted to the poor and downtrodden. Empowerment of auto taxi drivers in Munnar town was yet another of his revolutionary initiative, wherein drivers were given regular training in spoken English, grooming, and etiquettes. This in turn helped auto and taxi drivers adopt a positive attitudes towards passengers, especially tourists, and enhance their earning as well. Welcome, Reverend Father Robbie, on our show. Reverend Father Robbie, you have heard what Honorable Vice Chancellor Professor Dr. P. Subramania has said, as well as General Chaturvedi has mentioned. Now, we would like to know, because you are also working selflessly for the downtrodden, underprivileged people for long. And so we would like to know your views on the World Red Cross Day. Reverend Father Robbie Kanchanchira, CMI, please.
Lal Goyal ji, the man behind the show and the mastermind behind the show, and Professor Dr. P. Subramania, Yathavadhyaya, Honorable Vice Chancellor of Mangalore University, and Honorable Lieutenant General V.K. Chaturvedi, Dr. Jnaneshwar Pai, and my dear friends, those who are viewing all these things in online channels. I'm extremely happy to be here in this beautiful day with Lal Goyal ji and the honorable distinguished guests. In the day, the entire world is celebrating or commemorating the great service of the volunteers, thousands, 10,000s, lakhs, and millions. And a great salute to all the Red Cross volunteers in the entire world, especially our Indian Red Cross Army. And my big salute to them. And I bow my head before them. Their great service is centered, and now it's respected all over the world. And we consider it as a great spacing in the entire world, and which is needed at this time. And I think my former speakers, they celebrates, and they have already noticed the importance of Red Cross and the activities they were involved in their lifetime. And it was really inspiring. And thank you for the life-touching sharing from your part. And for me, during the time of my college days, I was one of the members of Red Cross. And I was involving, though I was in the seminary at that time for becoming a Catholic priest in Syrian Catholic Church, CMI congregation. I was involving with my friends, those who belong from different religions. As our general said, Red Cross involves everyone. It embraces everyone, irrespective of religion, irrespective of politics, irrespective of language, no barriers. So I think I must be today with you not to describe or expand the other great services of Red Cross, but a certain philosophical aspects of their activities. So I call this day a day of celebration. And a day of celebration and a day of renewal. I call this day a day of renewal because everyone, those who are following certain human principles in their life, as to renew their vows to be with the poor and the needy. And we know the background of Red Cross, the battlefield, what they were doing all these years. And from the very beginning onwards, is unparalleled commitments from the part of their volunteers. And we have no words to describe all these things. So there is someone who is in me and you, who is thirsting to serve unceasingly and selflessly. And there is a man in you and me, one who really wishes to serve the other. And today is the renewal of that vow to be with the other, vow to be for the other. And that is the life, that is the meaningful life of each and every human being. I strongly believe that each one is living for the other. That's why we call our life is an existence, and our existence is a coexistence, and our coexistence is a pro-existence. And it is meaningful. My life will become meaningful when I live for the other. As General said, and as our Vice Chancellor said, the value of selflessness is the matter here today we discuss. Because the entire world, though in this COVID pandemic time, we see the news as they noticed. That is a celebration of selfishness. And here Red Cross volunteers are celebrating their selflessness. And today we renew the vow to be for the other, to be for the needy. And that's why we say, I'm here for you. I'm not for me, but I am for you. That is the vow, and that must be renewed today. So that is the day I call it as a day of renewal. And the second one, I call this Red Cross Day is the day of celebration. And celebrating the goodness in you and me. That is the day. This day denotes that we celebrate the goodness in you and me. And when we come together, irrespective of religious or political or linguistic barriers, the goodness which is innate in each human being will flourish. And I strongly believe that that goodness, that flourishment of goodness will bring a new culture. That is the culture of love, truth, justice, tolerance, and equality. And each volunteer of Red Cross is really a champion of all these values. So this day is the celebration of the innate goodness in each one of us. In Vedas, I have noticed one beautiful word, Mitrasya Chakshusham Samikshamahi. You know the meaning of that word. Let us see and let us understand the other, the Mitra, my friend, through his own eyes. What we have already discussed as empathy means thinking and knowing and realizing the value of being with the other. And so this day we shall accept people, those who are involved in serving the poor and the needy all over the world. And as our General and Lal Goyal ji afterwards mentioned, today's media is all after not of this service aspect, but the other aspects. But the humanity will remember those who serve for them. That's why the entire world is remembering Mother Teresa, who followed Jesus and who said that the service you do for the least one is the service you do for me. That is inspiring word of not only for Mother Teresa, that's the word from Christ, Jesus Christ. And that's why me, who belongs to the Christianity or Catholic world, I can say proudly, I can say that thousands and thousands of Catholic nuns and priests are doing the selfless service to the needy and the poor, which no one can say or no one can deny. And I'm in India, I can say that more than 1,000 Catholic nuns, doctors are serving selflessly now for this in this COVID pandemic time. And we, the Christianity in India, with their more than 3,800 hospitals and other centers, serving their nation in this aspect. So, and I know that people from different walks of life, people from other communities, other religious sector are serving in the same way. And I have that respect. That's why I said we need to accept all the volunteers, not only Red Cross volunteers, all people, those who are doing exceptional work, great service to the humanity. And yesterday's news from Kerala in Kollam district, I think that's very familiar district for our Dr. C.V. Ananda was D. Two DYFI activists, they are called the DYFI as activists afterwards, means they have taken one corona patient in his bike when they did not get the ambulance in time. Two volunteers, they took a corona patient in a bike to the hospital and now he's surviving. They saved his life. The volunteers, those who are giving importance to the service, selfless service. I'm not particularly speaking about any particular political parties or anything. Red Cross is beyond the barriers. Means there is a Red Cross volunteer in each and every one who is always for the needy. That's what I am saying. So we have to accept when service is rendered from any part of the world, from any part of the people, any part of the religion, and we have to respect them and we have to celebrate the goodness which is expressed through each and every one. So I know that the Red Cross member, a volunteer, is a universal citizen. He embraces the entire humanity. He embraces the entire universe. When we are coming out of ourselves, we reach to the other people and we start embracing the entire humanity and we start expanding our horizons of our heart. And we become the universal citizens. That's why only people, those who have lived for the others, they will become the universal citizens. So all the Red Cross volunteers are universal citizens. They embrace the entire humanity. So let us celebrate the selflessness today. Let us renew the vows to be for the other. And thirdly, let us be a blessing for the other. Each one be the blessing for the other. And I know that the day of celebration, when we commemorate the International Day of Red Cross, we cannot negate the person, one who is innate in us, one who is always striving for the other. The same time, there's a selfish man in me and you, I know. But the selfless man, when overcome this selfish man in me, I start embracing, I start emptying myself, embracing the other. So let us be a blessing to the needy and the humanity. So I congratulate my dear friend Lal Goyal ji and your organizations and all those who are behind the curtain and my co-panelists for professing these vows today to be for the other. And then that's a cause of peace. If I am for you, there's peace. If I am for myself, there won't be any peace in between us. So let us be the channel of peace. As St. Francis of Assisi said, let us be the channels of peace. So thank you so much for giving me such a wonderful opportunity to be such a great people like General and Dr. P. Subramaniam and Dr. Yanishwar Pai and the ever youth shining star Lal Goyal ji. So thank you so much. God bless you and we'll meet again. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Reverend Father Robbie, for giving very, very new dimension of this Red Cross Day. And what Reverend Father Robbie said, I will just highlight one point, which he said is that this is a celebration day for me and you. And if we will understand that me and you, if the goodness of me and you are there, then we can do many things. And he says that I am for you. The day we will understand the meaning of I am for you, we will be doing lots of service for humanitarian. And that's what he says, that everyone is having good qualities in everyone is having. The only thing is that you have to overpower the selfishness, and you have the selfless. Once you will become selfless, you can do the humanity service like anything. Thank you very much, Reverend Father Robbie, for giving such a new dimensions. I'm sure our viewers which are watching, and especially in this pandemic time, if we will just think of those underprivileged, if we just think for a moment how the sufferings they are suffering, and if instead of doing negative in the minds, if we think of the positivity, like Reverend Father has said, if we just think, why not we do something? And if we will decide to do something, irrespective of caste, creed, religion, language, or political affiliations, then the day will come that all the sufferings will go, and then really we will be celebrating. Although we are celebrating, then we can celebrate far more this type of days, and we will be able to become a real human. Thank you very much, Reverend Father Robbie, for giving such a, I must say, the blessings in a different way. I'm sure today's program, the way our Honorable Vice Chancellor has spoken, the General has spoken, and now Reverend Father has spoken, is gone to a very high standard. And let's see, I will now invite our next guest also. But I am sure that if we will have such type of programs in the media, instead of shouting on each other, instead of giving the negative thoughts, if the media people, especially the mainstream media, if they will also start talking like this, how much positive vibes we can give to the society. And that is also one of the, I must say, the service to the humanity. Thank you very much, Reverend Father Robbie, for giving your views. Now I would like to invite my last guest, but not the least, and he is Professor Dr. Janeshwar Pai Marur. He is MBA, MPhil, PhD. Professor Dr. Pai is a professor at Justice K.S. Hegde Institute of Management, NITTE. He has qualified KSET management examinations conducted by University of Mysore in 2013. He has over 18 years of industry, teaching, and research experience He has worked as lecturer at SDM College of Business Management and Postgraduate Center for Management Studies and Research, Mangaluru from 2003 to 2006. He has worked with JP Morgan Chase Bank in India and Newark, Delaware, USA corporate office from 2006 to 2012. His teaching and research areas include behavioral and corporate finance, enterprise risk management, and corporate taxation, and has a strong exposure in practical knowledge of various statistical packages such as SPSS, MAT Lab, etc. He has published research papers in national and international journals and also presented research papers in various national and international conferences, seminars, and workshops. He is a life member of Indian Institute of Banking and Finance, IIBF, Mumbai Management Teachers Consortium, Global MTC Global, Bengaluru, International Association of Academics and Researchers, INAAR Pune, Indian Academicians and Researchers Association, IARA Assam, and Federation of Indian Professional Trainers, FIPT, New Delhi. Welcome, Professor Dr. Janeshwar Pai Marur on our show. Professor Pai, you have heard our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Dr. P. Subramania, you have heard General Chaturvedi, and you have also heard Reverend Father Robbie, and all have given the views of on this today's date. But I must say that everyone has given a new dimensions of the world on the World Red Cross Day. Now we would like to know from you on your views on the World Red Cross Day. Professor Dr. Janeshwar Pai Marur, please.
Good morning. At the outset, I would like to thank Lal Goyal sir for inviting me for this session. I'm extremely happy to be part of today's media conference to share my views with such an enlightened, I would say highly learned and elite panelists. As an academician, I'm going to talk about the Youth Red Cross Society and the YRC, which we call as Youth Red Cross activities in our NITTE group of institutions at campuses at NITTE, Mangaluru and Bengaluru. As rightly quoted by the former Prime Minister of India, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, today's youth is the driving force of tomorrow. The recognition and appreciation of India's vibrant youth demographic is beyond rhetoric. Now, youth are independent, they like their freedom and they want to explore more and experiment. An amalgamation of traditional and modern ideas and access to technology, let me tell you, they have unlimited potential. Some people might be of opinion that how can we put our future in the hands of the irresponsible teens whose ideas span from the simplex to complex? But the answer is simple. We simply let them go, right? We let them dream, think, explore, and fulfill. We give our youths the tool to collaborate, brainstorm, reflect, and problem is solved. As simple as that. In fact, we have seen that today's youth want to serve the society. In and out, we have been seeing Shramadan being done during COVID times. They are more of givers than takers. Let us understand this. They want to give, participate, and have an impact. And what, after all, what do they want? A simple support and faith in them. That's it. As rightly said by a very renowned French psychiatrist, Frantz Fanon, in his book, The Wreck of the Earth, in 1961, he said, each generation of youth must, out of relative obscurity, discover its mission, fulfill it, or betray it. I strongly presume that the government of Karnataka visualized this need for grooming the youths for the new generation and came up with a historic order. That's wonderful. Historic order to enroll youths of all colleges by affiliating to IRCS. I'm sure the Vice Chancellor sir would agree with me, under the banner of Youth Red Cross. And Mangalore University, NITTE University, and our parent university, that is Vishweshwara Technological University, are all part of this particular Youth Red Cross. Youth Red Cross is one of the wings of Indian Red Cross Society. We all know that Red Cross Society is worldwide, universally accepted, admired, and internationally identified humanitarian service organization. It is a biggest, independent, non-religious, non-political, non-sectarian, and voluntary relief organization, treating people equally across the world without any discrimination as to their nationality, race, religious beliefs. So in front of a Red Cross, US and India both stand on the same position. Now each college is having a Red Cross unit, and thereby students of affiliated colleges, so many affiliated colleges have become their own ambassadors of IRCS, and that's really fantastic. Accountability, authenticity, and uniformity are in fact the three guiding principles of Youth Red Cross right now. Youth Red Cross is a platform where youth can exhibit their talents. Our youths are so skillful, let us accept it. Skills, knowledge, ability towards the welfare of the society. And I'm extremely happy that primarily the Youth Red Cross focuses on protection of health and life, service to the sick and suffering, and promotion of national and international friendship. Youth Red Cross is a platform where youth can exhibit their talent, skills, knowledge, ability towards the welfare of the people. And I'm extremely happy that primarily Youth Red Cross focuses on protection of health and life, service to the sick and suffering, and promotion of national and international friendship to develop the mental and moral capacities of the youth. Probably that's the reason why Red Cross is gaining so much popularity during pandemic times. Selfless service without any monetary or non-monetary expectations in return. Let us understand our healthcare infrastructure is at its worst right now, and people are badly in need of a proper healthcare service and a listening ears. It is difficult, I would say not just difficult, it is worst time for all of us. Facilities are all stretched. I'm sure Lal Goyal sir keeps telling this. Facilities are all stretched, hospitals are stretched, there is oxygen crisis, lockdowns are imposed, there's no money, there's no job, there's no education, universities are shut, friends and families are getting COVID tested positive every day, and worst thing is they are dying also. Now, let me focus about the Youth Red Cross activities in Nitya Group of institutions. And here we try to imbibe the human service mindedness amongst the students and train them to disseminate and practice the 7 fundamental principles of Red Cross Society, as rightly said by our Honorable Vice Chancellor: humanity, impartiality, neutrality, independence, voluntary service, unity, and universality. At Nitya Group of institutions, we have the Red Cross Society, Red Ribbon Club, and the Rovers and the Rangers, which all aims to inspire and encourage and initiate at all times all forms of humanitarian activities so that human sufferings are minimized, elevated, and even prevented at the Nitya campuses. Let me tell you some of the programs which we have been doing in Nitya in the banner of Youth Red Cross activities. We have been conducting blood donation camps, blood grouping, and hemoglobin estimation. We have been arranging training programs not only for the volunteers but also for the society with regard to first aid, burns, snake bite. We recently in last 2020 we conducted a program on snake bite because it is told that many of us die out of the fear rather than the poison of the snake itself. This is what I remember one of the speaker was saying. We have been conducting training programs on health and hygiene. We have been conducting training programs on health and hygiene, environmental protection, cleanup campus. The most important program which we have been conducting is litter free Nitya. I think every city should do this type of programs. Clean Nitya, green Nitya, disastrous consequences of consumption of alcohol, liquors, and tobacco. And the classic programs are the COVID did not stop us from doing this novel activities. We have been conducting novel awareness. We conducted COVID-19 vaccination awareness programs to get rid of the vaccination hesitancy amongst people. The finest program that was conducted in May 2020 was the webinar on safe management of body of a COVID-19 patient, which had created a lot of fear psychosis amongst patients in the first wave of pandemic. So I would like to conclude saying that by 2020, the Youth Red Cross will reimagine volunteering and civic action in the 21st century to open up and ensure a large and more effective network of humanitarians work for a global good. I'm very convinced about it. So on this occasion of Red Cross Day, which is celebrated to honor the birth anniversary of Henry Dunant, which Lal Goyal sir said, let us celebrate I won't use the word celebrate. Let us remember at least the hours of non-profit and voluntary work done by millions of exceptional volunteers all across the globe. Let us come together to be more helpful towards who are in need by offering our voluntary services when called for. Let us bring back the change in the lives of the people around us and make this world healthier and happier. We must all thank Henry Dunant, who made us aware and gave us the Spartan tool that is required to keep humanity alive. Being the last speaker for today's conference, I would like to end my talk with the Youth Red Cross song. धरती करो निर्मल करो बीड़ा प्रभु है, जीवन करो उज्जवल नव ज्योति बरो है, दुखी जनों की सेवा हम करें, बदतलीतों को गले लगा ले, शांति बड़ा शांति कार्य शांति वरदा है, जीवन करो उज्जवल नव ज्योति बरो है, नव ज्योति बरो है, नव ज्योति बरो है. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor Dr. Pai, for giving your views on this Red Cross Day. And Professor Dr. Pai has given again a new dimension, and he has mentioned about the role of youth Red Cross Society. And he says how the youths have been invited or they inculcated the human values, how to serve the humanity. And that is a very, very important point. If the youth will be trapped at this time and they will be shown how to serve the humanity, what the father, Reverend Father Robbie has said, that I and you, if we will have these feelings, even in the youth, if they will understand these feelings, definitely our country or in the world, it will become the totally changed outlook will be there, and people would like to serve the humanity more than to create lots of problems for the humanity. Thank you very much, Professor Dr. Pai, for giving your views. Now, I would like to ask, although we are celebrating, but I have, as per the format, I have to ask the question. My question goes to Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Dr. Subramania. What impact, according to you, the Red Cross is making in India? Whether there is an impact, like you have mentioned that you already have this Mangalore University is having the Youth Red Cross Society, and Professor Pai has also mentioned. But this is only because this is there, so the students are attending or the meetings, etc., or really it is making an impact on their life? Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Dr. P. Subramania, please.
Yeah, Mr. Lal Goyal is the right question, because as Vice Chancellor, I have been insisting on one important point. Every student should get involved in one activity or the other, focusing on volunteerism or kind of community engagement in a meaningful, satisfying and effective manner. So here, our Youth Red Cross, as Dr. Janeshwar has rightly said, this is involving itself in what you call providing support, issuing advisories, or personal protective equipment for the COVID pandemic victims or something like that, providing technical support, for example, tracing, testing, treating in this process, or guidance to national societies engaged in quarantine, screening, pre-hospital, home-based and hospital care. And even the Youth Red Cross today is worrying about how to decrease the death rate in the second wave of COVID-19 or COVID-19 returns, whatever you say. In this way, peaceful environment across the world, we are seriously into it, this kind of thing. That way, definitely, World Red Cross created a kind of meaningful impact in the hearts and minds of the Indians, and more so with the help of Youth Red Cross in the colleges and universities.
Thank you very much, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Dr. P. Subramania. Now my question goes to General Chaturvedi. General Chaturvedi, you were the person, because of your suggestion, our Honorable Prime Minister, Mr. Modi, has called the Army's veterans who had just retired, the medical officers and medical fraternity, to come and help and assist the medical hospitals today with the pandemic. Would you like to again suggest that because there is a dearth of shortage of volunteers who are working there, doctors, and would you like to suggest that why not we call these volunteers from the Indian Red Cross to assist the medical fraternity along with the army, ex-army pupil. General Chaturvedi, please.
Thank you, Mr. Lal Goyal. I think it's a very relevant question that you asked. Armed forces today have got involved in tackling this crisis in a very major way. And you understand that armed forces' primary role is to protect the borders, territorial integrity of the nation. That's all. And they are deployed, stretched all over from Northeast to JNK, the insurgency, and also along the borders in Rajasthan and Punjab, and then a part of Gujarat also. They have a very major role to play. They are for the nation, and they have to take additional responsibility to ensure that whatever we could do for our citizens of the country in whatever manner, we must be there to protect. As far as Red Cross is concerned, they are volunteers. I think they are already involved in quite major, and they are also offering, I'm aware, in the Government Institute of Medical Sciences in Greater Noida, a number of them have already volunteered, and they are coming, basically the nurses and some of the other helping staff, those who take the stretchers, those who take the chairs, wheelchairs, and also at the reception and all. These duties can be done by non-technical persons also. They are doing it, and it must be done. This is a national emergency, whether we call it or not, whether we declare it or not, it is. And therefore, it's a bonded duty of each and every Indian citizen, each and every organization that is working for the mankind, humanity, service to the nation, must get involved. It is not that nobody called us. It is we must reach out, we must do it. Let's not stand on egos. This time will not again come. If we are there, I have no doubt, the people of India are the greatest strength of our nation. They have done it in the past. They have the capability, and they'll do it now also. But the all together heave, that's the slogan in our, I am an artillery officer. It used to be all together heave when we used to push our guns in the rugged terrain. And so that is how it used to, and we have taken the guns to all places where nobody can even imagine that these guns weighing about 10 tons can reach there. We have done it. So this is all together heave. This is a national crisis. Every Indian, irrespective of his ideology, his belief, his political affiliation, must be just thinking of nation, India as the first, nation first, and rest everything is behind. This Twitter war, these writing letters, this every day making a comment must stop. I am with total conviction saying that these are not the times to do all this. This is nonsense. This only reflects, and let me tell you, none of them are getting any sympathy of the people of India. They can try anything like that. They are only annoying the people of India, and they will pay for it if they continue to do it. And thank you so much.
Thank you,
it is
General.
all together heave, everyone together.
Okay, thank you very much, General Chaturvedi, for your such a forceful or things. And definitely, people should listen to you, and you should not do something which can break our country. No, we are a great country. My question to you, Father, time is short, so it's a short reply. Do you think Indian Red Cross should also include other NGOs with them? Because so many NGOs, earlier there was only Indian Red Cross. Now so many NGOs have come. Why not Indian Red Cross become an umbrella and take all other NGOs under them, and so that the result can be more impactful? Reverend Father Robbie, please unmute yourself.
Absolutely, Lal Goyal ji. And if there is a chance for that, I prefer so. And that will work. That will work wonders. As our general said, if we are for our nation, we will be for the poor people of our nation. And those who are working for the poor should not be marginalized, should not be ostracized. And if there is a plan or project like that in national level, that will work wonders. And that should be irrespective of politics and religion. That's the important thing. Someone should not go for politicizing all these things.
Yes. Okay.
Then that's the danger behind that. All things, if you are doing, someone is going to politicizing all these things. And I'm not for that. But if the suggestion, as you said, if Red Cross is there to lead or with the collaboration of all the NGOs, if they can do that, it's wonderful, and it must change the entire nation.
Okay, thank you very much, Reverend Father Robbie. Last, Professor Pai, any suggestion you want to give to the civil society? One suggestion only.
Yes,
Time.
one suggestion. Let me, since you're talking civil society, let me say that this particular COVID pandemic, in fact, is a real opportunity for the society to serve the motherland or Bharat Mata, who basically, and let us understand that civil society is humble and they are caring for others. The only concern I have is some sort of fear and resistance for such real-time pandemic situations.
Okay.
I somehow feel that the society is not mentally prepared to handle such situations, and that's why we are losing out of it.
Okay, thank you very much,
Yes,
Professor Pai. So today you have seen that the Red Cross Society, World Red Cross Society or Indian Red Cross Society is doing so human work, humanitarian work, and all our panelist guest has given so much details about that. Whether as a civil society, are we ready for this? Are we also thinking that we should also do some services, or we are just here to blame the government or to others or the medical fraternity even, instead of assisting them? If we see the pains of others, as our father has said, that think of others. If we start thinking of others, definitely we will understand how much problems they are also facing. After all, this problem is not for me, for you, for everyone. So we must come together and face this problem like the World Red Cross Society is doing. So thank you very much. Thank you very much for giving the views. And today's program has been live telecasted by V4 News, Global TV, V4 Stream, Newsgaon se Samvad Sarokar News, as well as shown live on Facebook and YouTube. And our endeavor is to bring to you every day a new topic. And tomorrow, again, a very, very important day. And tomorrow is Mother's Day. How anyone can forget Mother's Day? After all, we are here because of her. So tomorrow, media conference with Lal Goyal at 10:30 a.m. is to celebrate again the Mother's Day. And we have the panelists, and the panelists are Dr. Rukhsana Hassan, renowned psychologist, trainer, coach, motivational speaker, especially educator for early childhood education and development, Mangalore. Miss Kirti Khanna, DGM, NTPC, Noida. Dr. Priyadarshini, Mrs. World, Supermodel 2019, Chairperson, Harsha Modern Diagnostics, Modern Medical Center, and founder, Soulbeat Wellness, Mangalore. And Miss Sheena Juneja Bamri, homemaker from London. So please tune in tomorrow for media conference Lal Goyal at 10:30 a.m. Thank you very much, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Dr. P. Subramania. Thank you very much, General Chaturvedi. Thank you very much, Reverend Father Robbie. And thank you very much, Professor Dr. Pai, for giving such a good views and good vibes and positive vibes. And we not only hope, but we are sure that such types of vibes, when the positive vibes will go, we all will win in this corona, and we will come out with this pathetic situation which we are. But this is only possible if we will start thinking of for others. Thank you very much, and thank you all the viewers for watching our shows. Thank you very much.